afternoon in their city as we're working our way down 4th Street. This is a very residential area. 4th and Marine. And now it is definitely back to pursuit. Failure to yield. They have their lights and sirens on. So a little bit of a different type of situation. Don't know if this guy will now all of a sudden say, oh, it's Santa Monica, I'm just going to pull over. I wasn't going to pull over for LAPD. A lot of times it isn't like that at all. These guys right here, this is, it might be kind of interesting to watch. You might be watching at home going, God, he's barely even doing anything wrong. He's failing to yield, possibly as a weapon. This is actually a very dangerous type of situation. Just made a turn now. We're heading back in eastbound off of 4th Street. On Rose from Pacific. That's on Rose from Pacific. Rose, definitely in the Venice area. That's a very crowded type of area for sure. Definitely getting into the LAPD area. You can see that helicopter overhead. That's LAPD. Officers from the Santa Monica PD still behind the vehicle. No more lights and sirens. So basically just kind of they're back into their own tracking mode, probably because they got out of their jurisdiction. They were he's out of the Santa Monica area, city of Santa Monica, back into LA City area. This is Venice. This is part of the LA City area. So as you see it right there, we're on Rose, approaching 7th. You can see the signs are a little bit different. If you're local, you'll know that means they're out of the Santa Monica, city of Santa Monica. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. We got a lot of fuel. I'll get you some numbers. How much fuel do we have? 50? In the neighborhood of an hour. Making a turn now. Southbound Lincoln from Rose. Lincoln, a little bit more of a major road. We are in Pacific Division of LAPD right now. Definitely out of the Santa Monica area. Don't see any LAPD black and whites behind this vehicle. And I can tell you that the officers from Santa Monica, they have probably returned back to Santa Monica. It is not in their area right now. That right there is going to be what's going to keep this game in play, this ball in play until this is over. That was the LAPD helicopter overhead. They're making those calls. They're keeping an eye on this vehicle, calling out where it is. Definitely in the Venice area right now. The driver, apparently brandished a weapon earlier on. I'd really like to know if he brandished a weapon at officers or if he brandished a weapon at the person that called this whole thing in. Right now, though, we're continuing on, and Venice area is where we are. This person's still continuing to fail to yield, and I'm taking a moment to catch up on my Facebook and my Twitter, and I appreciate all the shout-outs, good or bad. I always say thank you for listening, my friends and others, because it is the truth. I love the social media. That's what makes now so awesome. That you guys can just reach out and I can get instant information and etc. But it's continuing to move along out here. Very slow moving. Following, pursuit, tracking of a suspect that failed to yield, apparently had a weapon. It was a pursuit. And now the division that they're in right now, they're weighing their options, trying to figure out what they want to do with this. If they're going to try to, pull this guy over, if they're going to just keep following this guy, what they're going to do exactly. But But there he is, and not sure what's up with his cell phone. Maybe he doesn't have his cell phone charger. We haven't seen him on the phone in a while. I was kind of hoping that maybe one of his friends would call him up and just kind of say, "Hey, man, just pull over." But apparently that's not happening this afternoon. As we continue on, definitely probably the Mar Vista area by now. I haven't looked out the window, but that's what I'm guessing. We're going to be in the Mar Vista, Marina Del Rey area as we're continuing along Lincoln Boulevard, heading southbound. We're going to be touring another airspace here in a few moments, getting very close to the LAX airspace, which is going to create a whole bag of worms for us as well, but we'll figure that out when we get there. Right now, though, it looks like Crenshaw is the main street that we're going to be turning onto. Oh, those aren't plain clothes officers. Oh, come on. That's the camera, not me. I have no idea what this guy's doing. But you have to remember right now, you know, it's been kind of a little goofy as we've been following this vehicle around. But we do remember that this person is said to have a weapon. This whole thing started out with a weapon. Apparently this person had a gun, brandishing some sort of weapon. So officers from LAPD not going to take any chances. And when you spend that kind of time in your vehicle doing whatever the heck he was just doing right there, it makes it interesting enough. Parked that vehicle in front of a burger place out here. Wish I knew where it was exactly. I know we're on Crenshaw Boulevard. Cleaning himself off there, you know. Oh, there he goes. Now he's running on foot. LAPD a little bit slow to respond there on the run. You know, he's on his phone, so he's not taking that run too serious. But continuing here, running on foot. This is going to be on Crenshaw Boulevard. LAPD definitely chasing this guy. 13,000 block of Crenshaw Boulevard, running along out here. LAPD in their cars. They could overtake this guy very, very, very easily, but they're keeping their distance right now. Earlier on, they did say that this person may have a weapon. So they cannot take this anything but extremely seriously. This guy continuing to run on the phone right now, just kind of running along out here. LAPD in their vehicles, K9 units following along. Well, you know what? You kind of capsulized it. We've been following this for over an hour. Many people out there watching on CBS Facebook Live. Yeah, right there, that is the suspect. Now, he was in a car earlier on, and as you said it, chase, not a chase, following, tracking mode, back to a chase, not a chase. It kept going on and on and on. This guy taunting us, taunting officers at some point. We watched him as they just followed this guy for hours. Where are we? We're on Crenshaw Boulevard. We're in the Hawthorne area right now. That guy out walking right now. He abandoned his vehicle. Officers from LAPD and also local law enforcement, not sure if those are going to be Hawthorne PD or not, have been just kind of following. Now, why people are saying, well, why are they just not tackling this guy? Why aren't they just taking this guy down? Well, the problem about all this is, as this guy apparently is said to have had a weapon, so they don't want to take any chances. He spent some time. That guy right there on a motorcycle, not law enforcement. He's probably putting himself in quite a bit of danger of being arrested if that guy doesn't get out of there. Right now, though, you can see the number of officers out here, 13,000 block of Crenshaw Boulevard. Officers from LAPD using their vehicles as basically as cover as they're trying to take this guy down. SWAT units here on scene as well. Those are not less than lethal weapons. Well, there's one less than lethal. We see one shot being fired. He got hit by one beanbag, two beanbags. So this guy running definitely right now. You can see that laser, that green dot on him. That's going to be the less than lethal. Can imagine. Pretty painful as they're pelting him with those beanbags and or whatever other things they're using right now to slow this guy down. Continues as a foot pursuit, and right now this guy just kind of figuring out that maybe perhaps best plan of action is just to do as they're being told. Down on one knee right now, doing the Christian cross. And he is, and you know what? We've been praying for him for a long time. Trust me. Right now, though, he's getting down on the ground. He's got his hands down. Probably he's finally starting to do what they're telling him. But take a look at the resources. If you've been watching this on Facebook Live, it appeared that we were just following this guy all nilly-milly through the Southland this afternoon. That definitely was not going on. They had SWAT units nearby, and you can see them taking him into custody. Apparently, this person brandished a weapon earlier on. That's the reason for this type of response. Right now, though, this suspect in custody over an hour of pursuit and tracking this afternoon. What show's coming back? Oh, well, you can say it in my ear. I promise I won't say it. Oh, that is exciting news. Assignment desk. Woohoo! I love that. Copy. We're going to have to get fuel, probably Hawthorne, because we're right next to Hawthorne, but okay. Do you want to see him go into a car, or what would you like to do? Yeah, they might call for an RA. He's got some good welts on his back from the beanbags.